Hello everyone, I am Shahir Iftikhar, and today I am making this video to talk about communication apprehension and how to deal with it when it comes to public speaking. Now before I begin, I want to clarify what the term communication apprehension means. Well, it is a term that refers to the anxiety or the fear that is connected to anticipated or real communication with other people. It doesn't necessarily have to be in front of a large group of people. It can also take place when there is a small audience in front of you. You see, when someone is experiencing communication apprehension, they're likely to exhibit physical symptoms such as shaking, dizziness, having a faster heartbeat, even sweating. Some may also experience a dry mouth sensation or a quivering voice. It is important that you understand that having communication apprehension is something very common because almost everyone has it. However, to be an effective public speaker, you need to find out ways of managing your fears. Right now, I'm going to share with you some of the ways that helps me to deal with my own communication apprehension. So number one, thinking positively. You see, communication apprehension is something that starts in the mind before it starts showing physically. Therefore, developing a positive attitude towards public speaking is one of the best ways of dealing with it for the long run. One example I can give you is that when it comes to me, instead of thinking of it as an obligation to be feared, I like to think of it as an exciting opportunity for myself to share my thoughts. Maybe I will end up helping one of my peers through my presentation. Number two, organize your ideas clearly. As a speaker, you need to be very familiar with the main points of your presentation. And one of the best ways of doing that is to create an outline of your entire speech so that you are able to move from one point to another without getting lost. One important thing to note about this is that one should never memorize a speech. And there's a very good reason for that. You see, your audience can clearly tell if someone is reciting from a memorized speech word for word. And the end result is something that you can never get back from, which is your audience. There's a very high chance that your audience will understand that you've memorized the speech and they'll get bored. Number three, practice in a setting similar to the actual venue. You see, practicing quietly in your head is just not enough. To lower your nervousness, you need to practice in a setting that is very similar to the actual venue where you will deliver your actual speech. Maybe stand up on your feet and practice out loud. Continue your entire presentation and then take your time and work out the mistakes. There are two tools that come in handy for me almost all the time. That one is to have a mirror, another is to have a clock. The clock helps me to time my speech, and the mirror helps me to keep my facial expression and body language on check. Number four, managing your physical reactions. Now, this is one of the most important things that oftentimes even many of the experts look over. The example I would give is that one really needs to know when to pause and when to breathe, or how to pause or how to breathe during their presentation or during their speech. Another important thing to keep in mind is to utilize the space that you are given for your presentation and maybe walk around or use your body gestures in that fashion. What that does is it helps you to channel all your energies throughout your presentation. For example, right now, I have a very limited space around me, so I'm unable to walk around and utilize all this space. However, I have made sure that I'm using my hand gestures to compensate for all that. I hope throughout my presentation, I was able to effectively make you understand some of the ways or some of the practices that one could do to help deal with their communication apprehension when it comes to public speaking. Thank you for listening.